Yes, by name's Kargaba Yofes, coordinator displaced persons from Tanzania, and I would like that I put out some issues of which is very much interested for some people to know. We have kept a low profile for a long time, but now we are coming out to speak out so that some people might understand this issue very well, because uh, this issue, the way how is handled, it is not good. I've been in this issue for the last 20 years, trying to handle it. I have made it for all both governments to know. I have made it for all these two governments to know that surely there has been a very serious problem. But still, we have not achieved our goals. Now, I want public to know that surely we have been having very many issues and very many problems around those people, around those borders that have been, which are actually bordering with Tanzania, and the people who were also, who were chased from Tanzania. First and foremost, to put things clear, is that this issue has been hidden and it is not known clear. But I want people to know, because some people are calling us Banyarwanda, some are calling us whatever they want to call us, but that is not the issue. What is the issue surrounding those people? At first, you know very well that in Uganda, there was already border demarcation. In around 1846, there was a demarcation between Tanzania and Uganda. And of course, a big chunk of land went on the Tanzanian side. So the people who were living in that area, by then, like the Banyankore, the cultivators, the Bahima, you know, most of them fell on the Tanzanian land. So from that time, those people have been, these are now Tanzanians. They were declared Tanzanians, and they stayed in Tanzania for all that time. Even they had their king, because the kingdom at that time, it was Nkori kingdom. But from that time when there was demarcation, the kingdom was divided. And then the other side of Tanzania, it fell under Kagera Basin. Kagera Basin has about 7 districts. I will mention few. Something like Karagwe district, Bukoba district, Biharamulo, which else? Mishenyi district, Rushosho. All those were actually, those are districts under Kagera Basin. From, of course, the people who were living there, they were left there. And there are even Bahaya, the Banyambo, the tribes that live in that region, and the former Bahima. And the former Bahima, of course, those ones who were under the kingdom of Ankole. So those people lived, that is the area where they are living up to today. Unfortunately, until 2000, that's when conflict came up. But before the conflict comes up, there was also some tribes, other tribes. Like in Uganda, because that area in Kagera Basin, They are bordering with Mukanga, which is under Isingiro district. And during the dry spell, there are some pastoralists who are living in that region. That is actually because it is a cattle corridor. People used to come from Ugandan side while looking for water and pasture. So they would cross to that place around the Misenyi district, having the help of the LOCs from the other side, Wenyekiti in Swahili, and some other administrators. They would ask them, of course, these Ugandans would go through, right channels. Say like they would go to the borders on the side of Uganda. They get a permit to allow them to cross over, and on the Tanzanian side, of course, they are given permits. Those permits are called resident permits. But the worst of it was that those permits were somehow flawed, because what they used to do was that they used to give the permits to the individuals, but the problem was that they did not create an area where they would put their animals or accommodate their animals. So eventually, he was crossing to Tanzania. He would go as if he had nothing, but only he's having a permit, as if he was moving without anything behind him. So that when they want to chase him, they would just withdraw that permit, because these permits would not go far. These were permits that were given for only 1 year, a period of 1 year. So that when the 1 year is over, they are withdrawn as if they are going to renew them, and then eventually they chase them. So these people, of course, they would not go anywhere. And of course, remember, they were taking advantage of the situation. These were people who were running away from civilization. They were not educated. So they took chances to exploit them through their, illiteracy. Now, those people, actually, that is one category. The Ugandans who used to go there during the dry spell. Most of these people, I can say, yes, some of them were Banyarwanda and some were Banyankore. But these are Ugandans. You cannot say that all of them are Banyarwanda from Rwanda. These were not even from Rwanda, but they were from Uganda. Since in Uganda we have those tribes around. But we consider them as Ugandans because they were from Ugandan side. Now, that's one category. The second category, around 2003, there was reaffirmation of the borders. Reaffirmation of the borders was that they wanted to clear those borders, because I want you to understand that these borders are porous. So there was no anywhere that you would find a mark that this is Tanzania or this is Uganda. So all people or animals, were crisscrossing. That's why, in fact, sometimes I make a joke. Someone might drink from Uganda and is drunk on Tanzanian side, So this is very funny. You do not know even this is Uganda or this is Tanzania. So, until 2003, when they wanted to clear that area, and they know which side of Uganda properly, and they know which side of Tanzania. But to make things worse is that it is, you know, of course, internationally, that once there is such kind of demarcation or clear demarcation, the people who are living on either side, they are supposed to make their own choice where they want to go and live. This should not be discussed. It should be, it's a right of everyone. These people, what they did to them was that when the other chunk of land fell again on the Tanzanian side, almost everyone who was on the Ugandan side was now declared to be a Tanzanian. So what was the issue all about? The Tanzanians, what they should have done to these people was to welcome them and ask them whether they want to live in Tanzania or not. And if they would not, supposed to, to stay in Tanzania, then of course they would be compensated and go back to Uganda. They would be compensated of their land, of their plantations, and even take away their animals. But what they did instead, Tanzanians had to grab all that belonged to them. They took away their animals, they took away the land, and the what? Yes, everything, all assets that belonged to these people. Instead, they were imprisoned and chased, you know, which is not acceptable. So today, it's very unfortunate to see that some people, according us or according those people, the Banyarwanda, this is unfortunate. So that is the second category of the people. The first category we have mentioned, the one which is the Ugandans who are those who have the problem during the dry spell, normally who cross there for pasture and water, because remember that is a cattle corridor. Second group is the other group which was affected by the border demarcation. Then the third group, of course, these are citizens of Tanzania themselves. The people who lived in Tanzania from time and memorial. Because I have mentioned the other group of 1846 when they demarcated that area, because this time 2003 it was reaffirmation. So in other words, we have the people who have lived in Tanzania, who were born from there, who are actually citizens, because I don't know how they define a citizen at all. If such people who have been in Tanzania from all time immemorial, they can just wake up once and evict them and send them away. So these are the three categories of the people I'm talking about. Now my problem here is that we have been having interaction with Tanzania. We have made some, because I have taken this issue very far. Since 2000, I have been in this issue up to today. We have made many, we have had meetings with them and under bilateral arrangement. We have had some very enough discussions with them. We have exchanged some, writings and whatever. But the issue is still, it's not yet solved. We agreed with them, with Tanzania, that there should be a committee set out by both countries. And in fact, that was something that was communicated far back by our president here. And then he communicated with the Tanzanian side. We agreed that a committee should be put in force so that there should be verification to know who is a Ugandan. What did he lose? Where was he staying? Is he known? Eh? Who is a Tanzanian? So that I mean, people are given the chances to express themselves, and they can go back to their land. Others then can be settled here. We don't see why Uganda should give a land to people who had their lands, who had animals and everything. Why should Uganda, I mean, take that responsibility? What happened? Why should Uganda give land to the people who have their land in Tanzania, to the people who had their animals in Tanzania? But the Tanzanian government just woke up once and chased them. So my issue here is that when this message has been put out, please, you people who are there, you can also help me to contribute and make sure that you help me to see how we can sort out our issues alongside that area. Secondly, I want both governments to put these things, I mean, to make it so serious, because over 2 million people were chased from there. Imagine in these displaced camps in Chibali, we have about 600,000 people there. But that is not enough. Other people are just in relatives. They are in the whole of Uganda waiting for our verification team. But there is nothing that has happened. So in this case, I don't want us to believe those people who say that these are Banyarwanda. This issue is very clear. We have the category of the Bahima, we have the Banyankore, the cultivators, and we have the Tanzanian, the real Tanzanians. Whether they are, they look like the Banyankore or not, I mean the Bahima or not, but they are real Tanzanians. So this question should be tackled very well. So that is my concern, and this issue should be tackled. There is somehow this issue has been, the way how it has been treated. Some people are saying that these were Ugandans who left Uganda and they were living in Tanzania. Then they started practicing politics around there. That's why they were chased away from there. That's not true. The reason was very clear. During some time back, the Rwandans used to stay in Tanzania, and they were made citizens. But when they were going back to liberate their own country, it was not something good that it was not, there was a problem, because as Tanzanians at that time, the Tanzanian government was very close friend to Rwanda during that time. And I think there was intermarriages. But when the Banyarwanda decided to leave their country, who were actually citizens at that time, and they went to liberate their country, the Tanzanian government did not do, they never felt well with it. So from that time, the Tanzanian government thought that if these people who were close friends, who were citizens, could do this thing to us, what would happen if they go back? As they have crossed to Rwanda, what if they decide to come back? Are they not going to become our problem? So they decided that everyone who was living there, as long as he looked like a Rwanda, they had to chase them. That was the problem, and this issue up to now was not addressed. So Tanzania should not hide from some people just to do something wrong. This is something that concerns life and death. They should correct this problem once and for all. That is what I can talk about the problems around here. So this has resulted in many things. Even the people who are living at the border on Ugandan side, they are still facing the same problem. Remember, when demarcation took place, along that places, there were dams. There were water to feed the animals and people. But now, as I talk, soldiers along the borders are being deployed from Tanzanian side. People cannot access water. When animals come alongside the border, they are intercepted by the government, by the soldiers from Tanzania. These people have become so rude because they have tasted a lot of money there. Yeah? They eat bribe. They impose on each animal. You can find that when they intercept about 100 cows, to remove them or to secure them back, it is a tug of war, because they will impose at least each animal will pay a fine of 200,000 Tanzanian shilling. So if they have intercepted 100 heads of cattle, he will secure only 50, because say like, you have to get the money from money lender, and the money lender will charge the interest, which has no any budget, any percentage. It's abnormal percent. So you will just take out the money from the cattle keeper. Then of course, even these people who have intercepted the animals, they are LOCs, they are ranch managers from that side, because there are some ranches. Then soldiers who have done all the work, you find that someone will be affected, and out of the animals that they have intercepted, he takes back very, very, very few animals. So for that matter, even other people have been shot in their legs, others have been shot to death. So all that, and our government here, the Ugandan government is looking at this issue. Tanzanian government, and then at the end of the day, we come and lie ourselves that we're in a East African community. This is not acceptable. Something should be done very fast to help our people. I thank you very much, and if there is any question, I can take it up.
So, with all that said,
yes.
What about are those people who are displaced
Yes.
from the Tanzanian side and they are now in Uganda? We heard that a big group of the people they live in Chivare. I believe they are refugee settling camps and whatever.
Yes, yes.
So, and we have heard that some are being shot in the legs, some are shot to death. So why do they cross there? How does it happen? Do they still have some settlements there in the Tanzanian side, or like some plantations? Or why is it that they always cross there?
Yes. These people are like reminded dogs that you keep checking it from your doorstep, but keeps coming back. They have their plantations there. These people, what they do, they cross at night to go and cultivate, because during the daytime they cannot be given access to go and do what? And cultivate in their land. So what happens? They go at night, they cultivate, that is when they have access to their plantation and food. Then they cross the same night and take food. But once because there are even some informers are from the government of Tanzania. Once they inform them that there are some people who have come, because interested groups have already taken up those plantations. So these are the very people who are actually reporting them to the government of Tanzania. So that is a very serious problem. And that is why they have been doing all that. So that is the thing.
So another question.
Yes.
You've said that you have been chasing this issue since 2000. So now those are 20 years.
Yes, down on the road.
So, which step have you reached? Have you engaged with any government department here in Uganda?
Yes,
or
yes. Many times we have had bilateral meetings, and the JPC, of course, is under that bilateral meeting. We have discussed those issues. We have made some agreements with them to sort out these issues. But up to today, there is nothing that has worked out. Now we are appealing from, we are appealing to maybe soon. What I wanted to do is to write maybe to the Parliament of East Africa to see how they can sort out, how soon we can be helped. And if then this one cannot work out, maybe the next issue would be to take our issues to ICC and they investigate what is happening on the ground. Yes.
Because those are crimes against humanity.
These are crimes against humanity. We cannot accept that. And in fact, when they chased all those people, what I can tell you, we experienced so many problems. Women were raped, animals were taken, people were killed. So that is not something that I can hide. We are tired. We have been keeping a low profile for a long time, and now we should talk. Yes.
Now, on those bilateral arrangements
Yes.
that have been taking place between Uganda and Tanzania, what resolutions have you come across that have not been effected? And because, like I've said, they have been taking place like these JPC meetings. I believe those are joint permanent commissions.
Yes, those are joint permanent commissions. Yes.
So, in between these two countries and these two heads of the states,
Yes.
I believe there must have been some resolutions that have been reached and they have not been effected or they have not taken place.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
what do you think, like, can speed up or like that can bring that resolutions into effect and they are effected so that those people down there can get help?
I think still, as I have said, this is a matter between the two governments, because one government cannot sort it out. This is something that is involving another country, and of course you cannot shift your laws and take it over to another country. But then, of course, what I'm saying is that our government, Uganda government, should put too much pressure on Tanzania. You get? And if they cannot do it, then maybe they should help this wananchi and have some organized courts of law so that they can, or they shift this issue into East African whatever parliament, because we have the parliamentarians who are there. They can discuss about this issue. This is it. Otherwise, we are tired. We have reached on arrangement, very many discussions that we have made with them, but it has been counted to, nothing. It's as if we are going there to eat food and maybe take some allowances. This is not what is taking us there. We are supposed to discuss the problems that are facing our people and sort it out. These are people who are now living really in a very difficult life. They have nothing. All their properties were taken, and they cannot give reasons why the Tanzania government did that. So that's why we are saying enough is enough. Either our issues are sorted out, or maybe we seek for another place to address these issues. Yes.
so in conclusion,
what I'm saying is that it's just the government of Tanzania to realize with the government of with Uganda and to harmonize these situations. Another thing which is funny, you see, there was recommendations that were made that we can put some offices to start
On either side.
on either side to start verifying this information, to collect data, to know where these people were living and whatever, sensitize those people. But up to now, they have not been effective. I mean, these offices are not effective. And in fact, I was one of them who were recommended to take up that office. So,
On which side?
on the Ugandan side, by of course, either it will go under Prime Minister's office or President's office. But up to today, there is nothing that has happened.
Or under the Ministry of Disaster and Preparedness.
Yes, that is it. Once it goes to Prime Minister's office. So we are now, nothing has been done. Yes. So in conclusion, I'm saying that if at all this information has, if it has, if the people who are concerned come across it, something should be done. Otherwise, we are tired for that to live in that kind of life.
Is our president knowing this matter?
Our president knows it very well. Knows it very well. But I don't know why normally these things are not. I mean, he doesn't act as in his capacity. The problem with Uganda is that once something has been realized, it's like they somehow at first take something very serious, but then alongside the way, they lose interest. I don't know why. Otherwise, he knows very well.
Once again.
And also his counterpart,
Yes.
Tanzania, is aware of it.
He's aware.
President Magufuli.
President Magufuli is there. He's aware, But it seems to me he's not very well informed about this kind of situation.
But the President Museveni is aware of us with this information.
He knows it. He knows it. But we have been waiting to hear from him. Some time back, we talked one-on-one over these issues, and he agreed that I should be given an office, particularly to handle that area and those people.
The liaison office.
The liaison office. But up to today, I have not seen anything. Yes.
Okay. Your name is once again.
My name is Karugaba Yofes, Coordinator Displaced Persons. And I'm also on the other side.
Liaison officer.
Yes, liaison officer. And I'm also, that is my work under that.
You were coordinator of Ugandan Tanzanian Displaced Persons.
Exactly.
The liaison officer.
Yes.
Okay.